In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet flip-flop earrings. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Diette, and welcome to Turtle Creativity, where we make crafting and crocheting easy. Today, we have a very special crochet project to do today. It is crocheting earrings. I'm really excited about this because we're not just crocheting any earrings. We're going to crochet flip-flop earrings. Now for this project, you will need yarn, of course. I'll be using purple and white. You'll also need your crochet hook. I'm using a size letter E. You'll also need a yarn needle, some scissors. You'll need your jewelry tools and your earring hooks to attach on to your flip-flops. Well, I'm rolling up my sleeves just a tad, and I'm ready to begin crocheting now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with crocheting our flip-flop. We're going to start with the sole of our flip-flop first, and we're actually going to crochet 2 of the soles. And 2 soles is actually going to be for 1 flip-flop, and that is because when we sew on our strap part of our flip-flop, I guess this little V shape right here that creates the flip-flop strap, I wanted to be able to hide how I sewed it on and tied the little knots and all of that. So in order to hide that, because the purple does show through the white, I just crocheted another one of our soles and just go ahead and crochet them together. So let's go ahead and get started. So the stitches that we'll be using in order to create this flip-flop sole will be the single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and we will be chaining. So if those stitches are something that you do not know how to do, I advise you to pause the video. You can save it to watch later and go to this playlist that I'll list like right here. And this playlist has all of the basic stitches that you should practice before you do this project. Once you have those basic stitches down pat, come on back and then you can go ahead and create your flip-flop earring as well. You also need to know how to do a reverse single crochet, which is also called a crab stitch. Okay, so those are the stitches that we will be using today. Okay, enough talking, let's get crocheting. All right, we're gonna go ahead and create a slip knot. Okay, and we're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there are our 9 chains. So counting down from our hook, 1, 2, and our second chain space, we're going to put 3 single crochets in this space right here. Okay, so insert our hook in, pull the yarn through, 1, 2 loops is on our hook, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Okay, so we're going to do 2 more of those single crochets in the same chain space. So in the next 3 chain spaces, 1, 2, 3, we're going to put a single crochet in the next 3 chain spaces. Okay, now in the next space, we're going to put a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook in the chain space, pull up, 3 loops is on our hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull through all 3. There is our half double crochet. Now, in the next 2 chain spaces, 1, 2, we're going to put a double crochet in these 2 chain spaces. So yarn over, insert your hook into the chain space, pull up, 1, 2, 3, loops is on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, one more time in this chain space. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain space, pull up, 1, 2, 3 is on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now in this last chain space right here, we're going to put a total of 6 double crochets in this same chain space. And here is number 6. All right, so half of our flip flop is done. Now what we're going to do is turn our work, and we're going to work downside our flip flop right here. Now I am actually going to crochet over this tail. I am going to cut it just a little bit so I don't have such a long tail. Pull it tight. Now, in this very next chain space, we're going to go ahead and put a double crochet in this space and a double crochet in that space. What we're actually going to do is you're going to work the opposite of what you did on this side. Okay? So 2 double crochets in these next 2 chain spaces. And again, I am crocheting over my tail. So that's the first chain space. Okay, and there's the second one. Let's do that again. All right, there is the second one. Now what we're gonna do is in this next chain space here, we're gonna do a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert our hook into that chain space, the 3 loops that is on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and I am actually going to cut the rest of this tail down. Okay, to move it out the way. Okay, so now let's move these scissors. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a single crochet in the next 3 chain spaces. So a single crochet here, a single crochet there, and a single crochet there. So let's go ahead and do that now. And now we're going to slip stitch into this last beginning stitch right here. The last stitch, which is also the beginning stitch. Okay? I'm just going to pull up on my yarn, grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut. Okay? So that is the first sole. Now for the strap part of our flip-flop. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a slip knot, and we're going to go ahead and chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And in our second chain space from our hook, so 1, 2, in our second chain space, we're going to put a slip stitch into this space. So insert our hook, pull the yarn through, all the way through that loop that was on our hook. So that is a slip stitch. So we're going to slip stitch 3 more times. So that was 1 in the next chain space, 2, pull it through, and the next chain space, 3. Okay? And one more time. Okay? So that's a total of 4 slip stitches that we've done. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. In this next chain space, we're going to put 3 slip stitches in the same chain space. So that's 1, 2, and 1 more. 3. Okay? Now, that kind of creates the bend of our strap. So now we're going to go ahead and put a slip stitch in each one of the next chain spaces. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull through my yarn, and I'm going to create a nice long tail and cut. What I'm going to do now is grab my sole of my flip-flop, and I'm going to now place my strap on. And I'm actually going to grab my other flip-flop because I want to make sure that they're kind of even. So side by side, I would say about right there. Okay, so I'm going to put that one back. And with your yarn needle, go ahead and stick the yarn through the eye. And I'm actually going to stick the other one through there as well. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and insert it through my flip-flop and have it now in place. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to just sew this on so I can have it nice and tight. Now, as I said, all of the knots and ties that you're creating with the purple, don't worry about it because we're going to create another sole to cover it all up. I'll meet you when you're done sewing on your strap. All right, so I'm going to grab my white and I'm going to go ahead and create another sole just like we did in the beginning. And I'll meet you when you're finished creating a second sole. So I'm just about finished my flip flop, the second part for my flip flop. But instead of finishing this off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the flip flop that I already did. And remember, I told you, you're going to be able to see my little ties and how I sewed it on together. We want to hide that. So what I'm going to do is take this one and I'm going to lay it on top of the second flip flop that I was going to work on. Because if I do that, you won't be able to see all of my little ties and knots and all of that. We don't want to show that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook. Now, before I do that, I'm trying to line up my stitches as best as I can because I'm going to do the reverse single crochet or the crab stitch. I'm going to go around both of these flip flops. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook through one all the way through the other one, so you can see that. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, instead of pulling through my white, I want to change colors. Okay, so I want to pull through purple. Okay, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do just a slip stitch just to secure it into place. I'm going to cut my white, okay, and I'm going to pull up some. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie both of these together, the purple one, see if you guys can see, the purple one and the white one. Just going to make a little knot, okay, nice and tight. I'm going to cut off a lot of the excess off, okay, and I'm going to hide this inside of my flip flop, just like that, okay, so that all of my strings and all of those ties and stuff is hidden. We're now going to do the reverse crab stitch. Now, when we're doing the reverse crab stitch, normally when we're doing a crochet project, we'll work this way. But when we're doing the reverse crab stitch, the reverse single crochet, it's reverse. So we're going to go the opposite direction. Okay, and I'm just making sure that both of these bottoms are lined up together so I can kind of see the stitches. Okay, and so now with my hook, I'm going to go up under the two loops. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. There are two loops on my hook. I'm going to twist my hook, okay, yarn over, and I'm going to pull through, okay. And when you first started, it is a little fumbly like, but just hold on to them. If you need to get like a safety pin to pin it together, if that's more easier, if you want to pin it here and pin it there, you can do that. If holding both of them together is a little fumbly for you, you can definitely do that. So now we're going to continue on with this stitch all the way around our project so that we can go ahead and give it that pop of color and that edge to our project. Not only that, is it sews both of these two bottoms together. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when we get towards the end. Our last one. Twist, yarn over, pull through, and I'm just going to slip stitch at the top, pulling through. Okay, what I'm going to do is weave in this tail to my project. But before I do that, you can see how now those strings and knots that I created when I was sewing on my strap, you no longer can see it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and weave in our tails. I'm gonna go ahead and add on our earring hooks. Here is our finished crocheted flip-flop earrings. I'll see you on the next one, and subscribe for more.